Hello golfers, welcome back to JD Golf TV. We had a great question on the YouTube channel that had to do with, yes, a couple books I had written many years ago when I had black hair and no belly. Well, Essential Golf and Secret of the Golf Swing are no longer around, but that's okay. Some of the information that is in those books is actually now proven by some pretty hard science to have been quite correct. So let's get after it. Well, the big thing is this: you don't swing at the ball. In fact, we're going to look at superstar player Collin Morikawa in just a second, and notice that golfers, actually great golfers, almost uniformly swing backward away from the ball during the downswing. No, they're not pulling it down. Jon Rahm is, but Jon Rahm's backswing goes back to here. The fact is, once you get this club on the other side of your hands and your hands up around your ear height, your first move may indeed be shifting to the target, but it is also backward. The grip of the club is going backward, and that gets this treatment. Folks, there's only so much you can do with this trusty Excalibur weapon of yours. You can push it backward, you can pull it backward, you can tilt it side to side, and you can twist it around the shaft. Folks, that's about all you get in golf. And I will tell you that if you can start really paying attention to how you apply work to this club, you can get a whole lot better. But it goes back to, you're not supposed to be hitting the stupid ball, folks. You're supposed to be working the golf club. You swing the club. Okay, back to our discussion. I'm going to show you a picture of a giant circle, and actually you'll see this. While most golfers are trying to, they're trying to pull straight down, but when I pull straight down, the club tosses out. That's a cast. Isn't that wild? When I pull backwards, the club stays behind the grip. When I push backwards, same sort of thing. So you can push it or pull it backwards, and that's going to create a circular movement backward, downward. And if you wait long enough, guess what? Oh my gosh, it's going to come around. It's like traveling along a clock face. So actually, I don't really care whether you pull it, I call this pulling the Q-tip out of the ear. You can pull it or push it, but here's the thing. If your pull outraces your push, you might have way too much, now this is a super high level problem, way too much shafting, way too much lag, zero loft on your 6-iron. If you push it more than you pull it, you may result with a giant cast, and now your 6-iron is about a pitching wedge. So that's matching up your pushes and pulls. Doesn't that make sense? Not too much of this, not too much of that. Somewhere between is just right. It's a Goldilocks principle, folks. So let's have a quick peek at exactly this situation with young Collin Morikawa, superstar, incredible ball striker. Okay, folks, here's Collin Morikawa, who's going to give us a wonderful bit of instruction into how to apply work to the trusty weapon, Excalibur. Yeah, baby, here we go. Okay, incredible ball striker, yes? Yes, obviously. Incredible ball striker, tee to green, one of the best on the planet Earth. He comes up to the top of the backswing, and we're going to see some cool stuff. What I have drawn for you is, from this view, the swing circle. That's the red one here. And two straight lines. One is for the butt of the club. This long red line is for the butt of the club. And this is the face-on view hiney-liney. Let's see how the man, and this is not the full treatment
for Colin's golf swing, but we'll do that at one point. There's a shift. I'll be darned. He doesn't just turn. I'll be darned. He steps into it and actually gets a little bit lower to the ground. He sits down toward the target. Shift, down, downshift to start the downswing. And right after that, watch this. If the club head pops up, he's pushing more than pulling. Well, that'd be exactly accurate. If he's pulling more than pushing, his head will go more linearly, sort of across the top of the building over there. And what we see is the club head does not pop up. So we know he's pulling it backward more than pushing upward against it. It did move up a little bit by now. So he's obviously starting to apply both a push and pull along the shaft. Remember, other than tilting it, that's all we have, and twisting it. And his hands are moving way behind that line where they started, way back, oh my goodness, in the opposite direction of the target. And there he goes. And now you can see also that there's probably more pulling than pushing by how close the club shaft stays to his shoulder right there. And he keeps pulling, and he keeps going, and he keeps going, and then he hits it into the middle of the fairway because it's what he does. So I would say that he doesn't have a ton of push against the shaft, but he definitely pulls it backward and downward and away from the target at the same time. From this view over this way, down the line view, you can sort of see the same thing. The club's going backwards, folks. I think it's pretty cool. It's going backward. And boy, he's not all spun out. He's not holding this club at the top and just spinning. He's not just rotating and leaving his hands up at all. Not even close. There's a shift. There's some pulling away from the target, pushing away from the target. There's some rotation. But boy, I'll tell you what. I would say that the shift and the pull are an awful big part of that. Awful big part of it. Oh boy, that's pretty good. Let's have another pro, just for fun, since we're here. Now JT shows us something radically different from Colin Morikawa. However, great ball striker, awesome tee to green game. Let's see, I think he's gonna push harder against the shaft, which pops the club upward. Oh, there's a shift too. There's a shift. And look how early he's popping the club up. Right, so he's got much more force against the shaft than he has pull along the shaft in this case. All right, now, from there you can see evidence of this. Wait a second, our point was backward, right? Where's he pulling the thing? Pushing it backward. Look at the start line, look how far backward. Yes, he's turned and shifted. Yes, look at his, well, I thought shifting was bad. I thought sway was bad. There's another guy. Torso, not very turned, but he's got some lower body, a little bit upper body, and a whole bunch of, in this case, pushing the club shaft away from the target. Upward, backward, and downward. And you can see the difference here. He's much wider than Colin was. So you might even call him a bit higher ball hitter because of those impact alignments. Got less forward shaft lean, less of a flexed arch lead wrist, but he hits it awful good. Looking from the down the line view, folks, let's see. So he's up at the top, pushing upward, backward, and away from the target, and even toward the inside. Wow, that was 3D golf swing. And by the way, for everybody saying that he's steep, he's not. Folks, that's not steep, come on. And by the way, hitting steeper does not make the ball go higher. Goodness sakes, we gotta get rid of some of this lunacy that's out there. Well, that gives you two great examples.
So now I hope that those couple examples really help you a ton understanding about this golf club. Remember, there are 4 things you can do to this club shaft. Okay, you can push it. If the push wins, you lose. You can pull it. For most of you, pulling away and down might be a wonderful thing. You can tilt the club flatter or steeper, and you can rotate the shaft. And by the way, look how much effort it requires to rotate that shaft. Square in the face shouldn't be a problem, folks, except you probably have a really bad grip if you can't square the club face up. So go back and watch the Your Grip is Killing Me video. Thank you very much. Go get after applying some work to your golf club. Thank you.